Okay, so I was listening to somebody earlier and they were talking about how the Me Too movement was taken over by white women. Now, I remember talking about that last year. And at first I was a little offended that the movement was taken over by white women because it was founded by a black woman, and it was founded for inner city girls, okay, girls in the inner city who didn't have a voice, and it was a lot more sexual crimes that happen in those inner cities, and it goes unreported, and those girls are silenced. They don't have a voice. And so I want to say it was Philadelphia. I forgot the lady's name. I have to look her name up, but you guys know who I'm talking about, though. And so it was founded for that reason, but somehow Alyssa Milano got a hold of it, and then white actresses just, kind of took it by storm. And that's, what took Harvey Weinstein down and a lot of other ones, okay? But I want to speak on how it was successfully taken over by white women. And the reason why I learned not to be upset, because you don't use it, you lose it. That's just how it is. If you do not use it, you lose it. And black women, although it was founded by black women were not taking advantage of what they created. They were not taking advantage. They were not benefiting from what they created. Okay? Because those girls still didn't have a voice. And so, white women are just more proactive on things, when it comes to this. But I'm going to go a little deeper than talking about white women right now. I'm going to talk about how black women continue to turn a blind eye to the abuse of other black women and girls. Okay. Now I'm just going to use an example, and this is not about if you personally like Gayle King, if you personally like Oprah, or this is not about personal feelings. This is about what black women stand by and allow to happen. They allow, they did not have any problem with Snoop Dogg calling Gayle King all kind of derogatory names. I don't really have to say what he called her. I mean, listen to the lyrics in his music. Okay, even C. Dolores Tucker, when she was waging a war against gangster rap music, his albums, I think it was in the early 90s, his album was the main album that she was talking about when she was waging war against that type of rap music and disrespect of women. And I think it was called Doggy Style or something. I think that was one of his first albums. I know it was another one called The Chronic or something, or was that Dr. Dre? I don't know. But it was one of Snoop's earlier albums, and it was kind of a cartoon picture of a woman bent over as if she's about to have sex, doggy style. And this is what she was talking about, and C. Dolores Tucker called it pornographic smut. But even during that time, she did not get a lot of support from black women. Now people might say, where are the black men? That's also a concern, because the elder black men did not have a problem with the youth disrespecting the womb that these men come out of. They did not care. Okay. But I just want to talk about how white women successfully took it over. Because at this point, you can't get mad at them, because black women weren't going to do anything with it. To this day, they do not speak out against abuse from black men. They just do not. I remember when Sunshine, I watched one of her videos where she was talking about some black guy said something inappropriately to her while she was still living in Las Vegas. I think he came to her and said how much or something like that, and I think she told the guy to get out her face or something. And he just went threatening her, calling her names and threatening to do all kinds of stuff to her. She called the police on this guy, but the police told her that he was surprised that she called the police, because a lot of black women do not call the police on these guys. And I get all the programming and all that stuff, but I'm gonna be honest with you. At this point, the incoming energies are no longer going to wait for people to wake up out of this Stockholm syndrome. Okay. The incoming energies are not going to wait for these women to wake up. Okay, whatever they are. Now, I know a lot of people want to say they sleep. I call a lot of them evil, though. I mean, I can say some of them are asleep, but see, I just can't give black women a pass like that. I do feel like a lot of them are evil, and I'm just gonna say like that. A lot of people don't want to believe, especially black women, don't want to believe that a good number of these other black women that do this, and they try to force other black women to put up with abuse. They would sit and hold you down while this black man. I mean, literally, if black women had the chance, they would chain Gayle King down while Snoop Dogg beat the mess out of her and rape her or whatever he wants to do. It would be black women around assisting and holding her down. That is evil to me. I don't call that sleep. I call that evil. Okay? I think some black women don't want to see it that way because they see themselves in these other women. I don't see myself in these other women. To be honest with you, I don't really see myself in Gayle King. You know? But I do have a problem with, and the reason why I say I don't see myself in Gayle King, because I'm not going to see myself in somebody just because they're brown. It has to be something else about them that actually, they actually have similarities to me besides their color. I can't just see myself in somebody because of a color. But I will say, yeah, that's what I was talking about. The reason why this movement was successfully taken over by white women, because black women were never going to do anything with that. They don't care what happens to black women and girls. They do not care. They help black men to abuse black women and girls. They just do. Now, not all black women, but I mean, at this point, if people keep getting offended at that, I don't know, what to say. But yeah, Snoop Dogg gets to go online and say some of the most hideous things about Gayle King, and black women, including Ari Lennox, go in on Gayle King as well. Okay, didn't she just get upset because somebody talked about the way she looked, talk about her nose looked like a Rottweiler, and talk about why is that your speech? But she didn't have anything to say about Snoop Dogg calling her all kind of everything but a child of God, calling her all kind of bees and a dog and all this stuff. She didn't have no problem with that speech. Okay? And at this point, it is going to be a separation of consciousness. A lot of these women are going to be left behind. And I remember I saw a post by somebody. And she's a former pro-black person. And she was asking her audience, should we wait on them or should we just turn our backs on them? And a lot of people in her comment section saying we should wait on these black women, because this is a pro-black woman that kind of snapped out of it, But a lot of these women, like I say, it's one thing to wake up and it's another thing to be pure evil. And some of these women, I think it's hard for some black women to see that some of these women are just evil. I don't think a lot of black women want to see that some of these women are pure evil. Anytime a woman is okay and assists black men in abusing other black women, I don't care what I don't care what kind of Stockholm syndrome she have. The lady is filled with demons. Okay, that's it. She filled with demons. She's filled with low vibrational energies. She's filled with evil spirits. I don't care about her Stockholm syndrome. That is a woman who has been taken over. Okay, she has been taken over. Her soul is somewhere else. It ain't with her. Okay, she is not connected to her higher self. She is not connected to her soul. I'm not going to decide when that's going to happen, because that means because as long as we wait on these kind of women, we got to sit back and allow little girls to be abused. So while because it's one thing to wait on black women to wake up if it wasn't as severe as it is, okay? If it wasn't as deadly and lethal as it is, what's happening to black girls is very deadly right now, and there's no patience to keep waiting on black women because of what's really happening, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. The reason why I say it's getting worse, because I said this before, and I locked my videos. They trying to make this black man out to be a god. These men die. You see what's happening to Trayvon Martin. You see what happened to Nipsey Hussle. You see now Kobe Bryant. They trying to put extra words in his mouth and act like he supported LeBron. What's his name? Like he supported Trayvon Martin. They trying to prop these guys up to be some kind of god. Okay. And black women are allowing it to happen. And it's at the expense and at the blood of little girls and other black women who may be innocent, because it's a whole lot of innocent black women that die. Okay? And so at this point, you can't be patient with that. You can't be patient with that. Okay, like a person who maybe break into your house and shoot you dead, they might have a mental illness too. Do you have patience for them and just let them shoot you in the head? No, you just gotta, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, but I do understand where this pro-black, this formerly type of pro-black woman was coming from. She felt like because she was once there, then she wants to be patient with a lot of these women. But what that lady don't understand is she might have been a little pro-black, but she was not one to sit back and be okay with little girls getting raped and sodomized and all that stuff. See, it's a lot of black women that are okay with little girls and little boys getting sodomized and all this stuff. Like I said, yes, she might have had some pro-blackness in her, but she might not be one of the people who would be okay with holding and chaining Gayle King down while Snoop Dogg gets to kick her in the doggone ribs and beat her in the face and even probably rape her. It's a lot of black women that will hold Gayle King down and gladly help Snoop Dogg, do something like this. Maybe that particular pro-black woman, yes, she might have woken up from some other craziness she was on, but she might not have been that kind of woman that would have done something like that. And some of these women, I used to be like that too, want to have sympathy for other people because of something it might have took me a while to get out of. But we got to look at the situation. A lot of these women don't care. They would defend a man a black man can go and shoot 100 black women dead and lay them side by side in the street, and there are black women who would defend that. And so it gets to a point where you cannot look at yourself as being in all these women, because these women are filled with some very, very, very low energies. You got to see that these women are not you just because they have some brown skin. So just because you might have been a little pro-black, okay, you might have said some little things on YouTube that might have, ruffled some feathers, that might have been kind of tying black women's hands behind their backs, okay, that does not equal to helping a black man kill masses of black women, because there's a lot of black women that are okay with helping black men kill masses of black women and girls. It's a lot of black women that will help black men do that. These women that want to have all this sympathy might not be that kind of woman. But like I said, I understand, but you just never know who's going to wake up and who's not. But I will say this. When it comes to little girls' lives continuing to be in danger, and the doggone assaults of black girls, to me, have gotten worse than it was when I was a little girl, okay? To me, it looks like the assaults of these black girls and their hatred towards these black girls have gotten worse than it used to be. And it gets to a point where you can't be patient when people are dying in mass and little girls are getting assaulted in mass and little girls are getting sold into sex trafficking in mass. It gets to a point where you can't be patient with that. You got to choose who you want to help. Are you going to help little black girls? Or are you just going to keep being patient with women who keep sitting by and they are okay with this vicious abuse from these guys? Okay? Either you're going to protect or help protect little girls, or are you going to just be patient while they keep dying and they keep getting sold into sex slavery and all this stuff? Okay? So anyway, but like I said, I do get their compassion though. I do get their compassion, but at the same time, they don't understand that it's too many fatalities that's happening. It's too many fatalities that's happening. And a lot of these black women I guess they can't wake up, they are helping black men with these fatalities. Okay, and when it gets that severe, it gets to the point where you can't be concerned with when they supposed to be waking up. Your concern should be saving little children, not trying to wait until kingdom come to wait for some grown women to wake up. Your first priority should be the children, but it don't seem like it's the children. It's like you're sitting around waiting for grown women to change their minds. Okay, because that's basically when you say you wait for them to wake up, you're waiting for them to change their mind. You're waiting for a grown doggone woman to change her mind, and that is taking priority over saving little girls. Okay, but anyway, I'm gonna end that here. But that's all I was talking about, how the Me Too movement, how it was successfully taken up by white women. Black women don't care about that. Black women ain't interested in saving, and black women are more interested in protecting black men. So what not going to happen with that movement in the inner city? What nothing going to happen with it? Okay, even if that black lady tried to put her foot, try to put her foot down, she wouldn't have got too much support from black women in that neighborhood. She wouldn't have got too much support from black women, period. She would have used all of her energy in vain. And so for that whole movement not to go to waste, it needed to be taken over by white women or somebody else who could have made some good out of it, okay? But anyway, that'll be it, and I'll talk to you soon.